Welcome to another broadcast of Habits and Money.
Elevate your business with 10x Branding and Marketing LLC. Our expert team specializes in enhancing your brand's visibility and connecting you with your ideal clients. We employ strategies that increase reach, leaving a lasting impact and driving client conversion. Trust and credibility are vital in businesses and excel in building them even with a limited budget. Our cost-effective approaches ensure you get the best results without overspending. Ready to boost your business cash flow? Contact us at 332-235-T99 and let 10x Branding and Marketing LLC guide you to success. Our focus is on elevating your visibility, which directly translates to growth. Experience the power of effective branding and marketing with us and witness your business thrive.
Today, I have another exceptional talent in studio, and there's a number of uniqueness that I want to point out about my guest. First of all, he's all the way from Australia, but he and his team has over 44 years experience in the business industry. My guest is Nathan, and I want to say this. Nathan has such a rich history. He has a rich history in the health, in business, in mindset, in marketing, and he has built a few business where he has successfully exit. So without further delay, do join me in welcoming Nathan in studio. Nathan, how are you, my friend?
G'day, Gary. Very well, mate. How are you going?
I am phenomenal. I must say, it gives me great pleasure to have you in studio, to pick your brains and, with all the exceptional things that you have been doing in business.
Fun to be here, mate.
Yeah. Awesome. Nathan, let us begin by looking at the fact that you went on Shark Tank. You are a Guinness World Record holder. You are a top sales achiever. You got a whole lot going on, my friend. Let's talk to you. What took you to Shark Tank Australia? What was that experience like for you?
It was great fun. And look, the reason we did it was exposure, as you do anything. So we found it an absolutely phenomenal way of getting our business out there. And at that stage, I was in restaurants, and I had one restaurant, and I was just about to build the second one. And it was a gift that just kept giving, actually, because every time Shark Tank went live on TV, and they did plenty of reruns, every time we did a rerun, we would have our restaurants packed, which was absolutely amazing. So couldn't be more grateful. Yeah.
So that's really a unique marketing strategy. There's no wonder why you were acknowledged as the top sales achiever. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it really takes to become a sales professional, a sales expert, all of the above that you represent?
Sales, when I first got into it, and I remember reading my first book on negotiations, and I'm trying to think what the name of it was now, but it was mind-blowing to me to think that you could actually change the way that you spoke and get stuff cheaper, sell more products, depending on what you wanted to do. And I remember doing my first negotiation after I just read this book, and I was managing a chain of pharmacies, their health section in Western Australia. We had 8 that I was looking after, and which I eventually grew to be the biggest in Australia. And the fascinating thing was I was negotiating with a supplier on these water filter jugs, and I just learned that you should, when you negotiate, one of the techniques is ask for more than you expect to get. So I was sitting there absolutely sweating bullets, just super nervous, and I knew the technique, and I was just too scared to say it. And we beat it around the bush, and this guy was selling these water jugs for about 20% discount because he wanted to clear the range. And I was just, couldn't breathe, just trying to get this message out. Well, can I please do it for 50% off? And it was like, I thought that was just the worst scenario that I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
So apparently it turns out that when you're negotiating, you don't die. You actually just keep moving forwards. But at that stage, I thought it was a different scenario. So he turned around and said, sure, let's do it at half price. And it was like, it was just a light switch that went off in my brain. And it was like, oh my God, I've just got literally a couple of $1,000 discount across all these products. And it was like 5 seconds of stress and pressure. And I thought, I worked that out to be an hourly rate. So that discount of it, and it was like thousands of dollars, $20,000 an hour or something ridiculous that we'd made. And I thought, wow, there's something to this negotiation. And then I just studied more and more and more. And it was just like, bring it on. And I started throwing out techniques left, right, and center, seeing what worked. And I was just like, oh, yeah, very exciting when you learn this stuff works.
Yeah. I guess it works best for you the more experience you have doing what you do. The more times you do it, it adds to the, experience, repertoire. And the more you build up that experience, I think it adds to confidence and your skill set. But you did well, because even without the experience, you were still able to close that deal because you had some data in terms of how to make it happen. So my brother, I want to say kudos to you, because to sell, to be a sales expert, to be a marketing expert, it takes everything, I have worked with salespeople for many years, and I see people freeze up, in making the call. They freeze in the boardroom. It's one of those nerve-wracking, exercise. But what I've learned also is that once you really master sales and negotiation, it really sets you up to be an exceptional leader with global demand. Because every single business depends on the sales professional, the marketing expert, the business negotiators. So hats off to you and all of your accomplishments. We're going to go a little deeper into them and some of those things just now, because you have so much of successful record behind your name, and we're going to talk about some of them in a few. But let's talk about what put you into the Guinness Book of world record.
Well, it actually sounds better than it actually is, but let me tell you, so we did the world's biggest ice bath. So in Perth, Western Australia, we had about 560 odd people this year, and we all had to jump into the ice bath of it was around 5 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes. So it was a big event, but it was fantastic. And that's something I do almost every day of the week. I actually go to the beach and I throw myself into the cold ocean, and anywhere through winter it gets a bit fresh. But I find it's such a powerful tool for creating the discipline. And if you've got discipline, I always think if you've got discipline in one aspect of your life, it's so much easier to bring it across to other aspects of your life. So kind of see it as, and look, passion is my business is my passion. So anything that I do in my personal life, I always try and do things that will actually assist in my business life as well. So I'll use that discipline to bring it across into the business world and find, areas that I can utilize that to grow my business. So that's kind of the thought process behind why I did that one.
Yeah. Oh, great. As I look at your profile, as we talk about that, we talk about some of what you're doing. I'm so impressed. You have so much of first and so much of achievement behind your name. Talk to me a little bit about the world's first plug and play weight loss program. I mean, that's a signature project that you guys have started, and you're the first to do it. It's a major success. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I was originally doing weight loss programs for years in pharmacies. I'd set up weight loss programs in a bunch of pharmacies across Perth. That was quite a few years ago. And then recently, last year, I was in Thailand, and I was in a lovely hotel staying with my family, my extended family, for a couple of weeks in this hotel in Thailand. And it was a resort, and it had everything. It had, all the beautiful foods, buffets. It had spa and massage services, and it had great gym and sporting facilities. I was just thinking, my goodness, this is such a great opportunity here. I can live my ideal life of good health and great food and exercise and nutrition and fresh air. And meanwhile, we'll go to breakfast and my family's just picking out on all the not so healthy food, much to my dismay. But I could eat what I wanted to. I eat a lot of I eat keto. I've been in ketosis consistently for about 4.5 years now. So I'm a big fan of keto. So I was just eating keto every day, and I thought, what an amazing opportunity! How good would it be to set up to have a weight loss program that could run in hotels? So I met with the general manager and I said, what's the deal with your wellness facilities? Do you have much option here? And he said, no, we don't, but every hotel around the world wants to get into the wellness category because it's incredibly lucrative. And I said, well, what if I set up a weight loss program and brought it across to you and we could run it together? And he said, I'd be very interested in that. So I went back to Australia, set this program up, reached back out to the guys in Thailand, and they were sort of dragging their heels a bit, thinking, yeah, it's good, but we have to run it past 17 decision makers and all that sort of stuff. And I said, I'm ready to go. I've got this amazing program. Let's get started. And so they were just dragging and still are dragging months and months later. So I thought, why don't I just restructure this a little bit and open it up to any hotel around the world so that you guys can just plug and play this.
So of course, now the marketing and negotiation genius kicks in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me hear it. So you open it up. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's an opportunity. How else can we make this work? And that's one of the things I get really excited about is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. So if you want a better outcome, ask better questions.
Ask better questions. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just asking myself, well, how can I use this and how can I scale it and how can I grow it more significantly? So I restructured the program and then I sent it out to a bunch of hotels. And I thought, well, let's start with Bali because Indonesia is the same time zone as Western Australia and it should make it a bit easier. I went to Indonesia, went to Bali, and I met with 8 hotels over there, and seven of them turned around and said, this is awesome, let's do it.
Wow.
So we're just in the process now of setting up those across the hotels. Launched our first one just recently and then trying to get through the backlog of the other ones. But so that's what it is. And it's the offer that we gave them was so juicy and so attractive that it was very hard for the hotels to say no. So, why wouldn't they?
Well, congratulations on that success. So we can say that Nathan now represents the world's first plug and play weight loss program. We're going to be doing a lot of talking outside of this, and because what I want to do, I want to really dig into the great work that you and the company is doing so as to help the public to really have a much better, clearer understanding in terms of what your brand represents. Let's move to another success story. You are also a food manufacturer. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of what your company is doing in terms of food manufacturing?
Yeah, so I'm in Western Australia. We're just in the local area that we do cover all of, and we manufacture pasta. And my background's in health, so I'm really passionate about bringing health into whatever we do. And my father-in-law, who's Sicilian, he's been making pasta for 40 plus years and he's pretty good at what he does. So he's all about the flavor, and my background being in health, I'm all about the health. So we always try and connect a product with health and flavor. So kind of two quite important parts of the process. Yeah. So that's what we have, and I started that in 2014, and it's grown into quite a business with different aspects to it. We have retail stores and sort of licensees that have our products and sell directly to the public in shopping centres around Perth, Western Australia, and they go phenomenally well. We have home delivery, so it's sent out. These past products are sent out to people directly. We wholesale it. We do a bunch of fundraising so people can use our products, which is awesome. I love that aspect because we help lots of small businesses, lots of schools and charities and sports clubs to raise money using our product. So it's a fantastic win-win scenario where they get to make money out of our product and we get more brand exposure. So that works really, really nicely. And yeah, wholesale and a whole bunch of other little areas that we just sort of move the product through. So that's been going really well. And it's great fun because we get to practice all our techniques of sales and marketing and lead generation for that. It's really good fun.
Got you. Nathan, you are what people call in the truest of sense a serial entrepreneur. And let me say why I'm saying this also. You are one of the brains behind Tommy Suga. I want you to tell me a little bit about it. You are also one of the brain behind Immersion Wellness. And you have a business public support lab that is known as Business Profit Lab. You are instrumental behind these things. Can you talk to me about Tommy Sugo?
Yeah, well, Tommy Sugo is the pasta business, so that's got all the avenues that we just been through. So that was created in 2014 and just Perth, Western Australia based, but that's what we've been doing. The Immersion Wellness is part of the hotel weight loss program. So that's behind that one. And that's just specific for hotels. So any hotel around the world can plug that into their infrastructure without the technology or the in-house infrastructure required or the expertise. So we sort of outsource all that technicality side of it. And then Business Profit Lab is quite a new little thing we've set up because we love marketing and we love just growing. We love growth. We've set up this Business Profit Lab, which is a completely free structure that we are just bringing any business from around the world. They can come and play with us, and we meet monthly and we just go through people's biggest hurdles. So whatever their hurdles are related to their business. Sorry, I can't deal with marriages or any of those sort of things. Not but
Got you.
Bring your business.
You're a niche market specialist. I love that.
Very much. Can't sort out world wars and things like that, but business I love doing. So what we do is we meet once a month, and every business that come along and do a live webinar and we just chat business and we just nerd out on business. I love business, so I can talk about it all day. I don't have a social life personally. I just talk about business and do business. So that's how we connect with socially and to help people move forwards with their business, because it's kind of good fun solving issues if you can help people out in the meantime.
Awesome. I want us to come back to something that is very significant in your life of doing business. One you have built and exit a 7-figure business. I want us to come back to that shortly, but just before we come to that, I just want to go a little bit into your background. You have studied in naturopathic. You major in health, in business, in mindset, and in marketing. Can you just talk to us a little bit about what that study entails and how did that combination of study, health, business, mindset, and marketing help you to be as iconic as you are today in business?
Yeah, well, I studied naturopathy originally, and that was 3 years to become a naturopath, and that was my beginning. But prior to that, I guess I grew up with a single mom with not too much money around, and I do recall many a night of just potatoes, and I thought this is motivation to move forward.
What a breakout, and got you.
Yeah, and maybe that had something to do with the fact that I'm keto now and won't touch carbohydrates. So maybe that was the early direction from that. But whatever it was, the motivation was there to move forward. So I studied naturopathy, and then I found that when I went into business, we didn't cover marketing at college, and I had no idea, absolutely zero idea about it. I realized mindset then was really, really important too, because I had to stay focused and I had to be persistent, and regardless of what crap was going on around me in the world and in my world. So, and I had a mum who was quite interesting, shall we say, in that she would put me through some challenges, let's just say that, mentally and emotionally, and bring that into the workplace, which was fantastic again to overcome certain challenges and strengthen mindset, etc. So all of those things, I think, combined. And I think if you can bring all those things into it, if you can bring health, if you can bring mindset and marketing, they're three really powerful tools that if you can pull them out of your toolbox when you need them in business, it can just really help you progress. Because if you can get your health right, through physical exercise and good nutrition, if you can maximize your energy, everything I do is towards the business. So my health, I focus on that purely to move me forwards in business, to literally, I know this is ridiculous. It sounds absolutely crazy.
No, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know that there's too many people out there saying, I'm going to be healthy so I can be better in business. But I think, the more you can maximize your brain function and your energy, then obviously the more you can move forwards, you can put that towards more constructive outcomes in business. So that's why I love health, is because literally it just helps me move forwards and keeps my energy up and consistency up and persistence and all those sort of things. So yeah, I kind of see it as a big package. Let's use every single tool that's available to us and bring it all in and just see what we can create. That's mine.
Essential Care Pharmacy, providing more than your healthcare needs. Get the best in muscle-building products, health supplement products, beauty care products, medical supplies, colognes and cosmetics, blood pressure testing kits. Access our medical doctors, and so much more. Essential Care Pharmacy, your leading healthcare provider.
Got you. And I love that because, exercise and focusing on health, physical health, to me, it has this massive ripple effect on the entire body. Regular exercise leads to mental alertness and, mental agility, clearer focus. It helps the body in so many different ways. So love that concept. Now, let's talk about this major event. I mean, because this is a dream of many rising stars in business. You want to start a business, you want to scale a business, you want to exit that business and have enough money to live for the rest of your life because you exit, multiple figure exit. You have done this. All right. You've started the business a few years ago and you figure things out, how to exit that market, cash out on it, and have enough monies to be comfortable. Tell us what that process and experience was like for you.
I guess it was a few steps in the process. So first of all, I went into pharmacy after I just graduated, and I was lucky enough to find an absolutely phenomenal mentor who was a pharmacist, and I just absorbed every bit of information I could learn. I would just absorb. And I would, anytime he was around the pharmacies, I'd just be like, happened to be, hello. Yep. So I'd be right wherever he was. I was like a shadow. And he's just an amazing guy and still is, and a phenomenal businessman. So for 8 years, I just hung out with him as much as I could. I would have monthly board meetings and we'd talk about whatever I could talk about, just to sort of hang out and be around and learn some info off him. While that was going on, I started a little side hustle, utilizing those skills that I'd learned and developed in the pharmacy, and I opened a tiny little health shop in a market, and that started going really, really well. And just transferring the skill set that I'd learned across to my own business, and it started growing and growing and growing. And it got to the stage where we were turning over. We were the biggest supplement purchasers in Australia for two of the top brands, two of the biggest, the two biggest brands in Australia we had grown to be the biggest buyers. So that went really, really well. And then I thought, well, this is going so well. I asked my boss that I was working for in the pharmacies, do you want to come across and do some more health shops with me? And he said, no, I've got too much going on, but you go for it. So I left and went full time into that, and that went really well. So I thought, let's set up the next one. So I set up the next health shop, and that went really well. And then I came across someone else who had a health shop but was really struggling, and so I thought, well, let's give it a go. And I went into that and fired that up, and we went from a loss to sort of some decent profits in over a 3 to 4 month period. And then I ended up buying him out, and I just continued that. Then I thought, well, what's the next stage? How do you scale a business? 3 sites can be a bit of a juggle. 4 sites will be really, really, you can't be too small. You either have to go big or sort of get out of it. So I thought, well, so that's when I thought, why don't I create my own supplement brand? So I created a vitamin brand that I brought into the shops, which gave me amazing margins. And I sold them in my 3 stores. And then obviously the next thing you do is you scale and you sell them to other stores. So I went around Australia and I sold them to other health shops and pharmacies. And then I got to a point where I'd done it for 7 years, and I thought, it's the same thing over and over again. I'm getting bored. So I think I need to change direction. And at that stage, I was starting to do some things on the side as well, and get into a bit of real estate and do some stuff in the UK. So I thought, time to sell. And I put it all on the market. I didn't know if there would be interest, and as it happened, there was some pretty strong interest. And I was at the stage in my early 20s that I could put it on the market. I sold it and did really nicely. So I was at that point where I could actually almost retire at that age, but had no desire to do that. I had lots more exciting things going on. So that was the exit.
Gotcha. Well, I want to say congratulations, because I know that's a dream of so many rising stars in business. I'm currently working with a number of rising stars and helping them to build out their personal and corporate brand with the expectation of exiting the market down the road. So you have done it. Great job. Nathan, I want to say it has been such a pleasure talking with you today. I want to just shift the conversation a little bit. I want to talk a bit about habits that influences success. And so I want to do a few rapid questions. You can probably spend a minute or so to respond to the questions that I'm going to table. You are an influencer in your field, and without a doubt, listening to your story, you grew up with your mom, chopping and cooking and baking those potatoes, and you have moved all the way up to that point where you have built a 7-figure business. You have exited a 7-figure business. You sit on you're the Guinness Book of World Record. Man, you got a whole lot going on. You are an influencer without a doubt. What habits do you think is necessary to make you habits that influences success? What habits do you think influences success?
Habits. So I think what I touched on before with health and fitness, those 2 things are paramount in my life, and I use those to push me forwards in business. So regular exercise, I love running down the beach. I love swimming in the cold water, and mindset. Those are the key things for me that drive good processes.
Okay, I love that. Mindset, exercise. Love it. What is your definition of success? Is it starting, scaling, exiting a 7-figure business? Is it providing mentorship in the Business Profit Lab? What in your context defines success?
Personally, I have a figure, a number that for me defines success. But I think, and I'm not there yet. I'm not there. So I've still got a long way to go. But along the way, now I'm realizing the fun side of it is significant in my life. So although I don't get out much, they don't let me out. I just stay locked up in this business cage most of my life.
It happens, once you get hooked on the business, journey, it's a different play altogether, So I understand.
I feel, I guess those are the things where we're trying to move forwards. And sorry, I've forgotten your question.
No, I was asking your definition of success.
Success and fun. Sorry. Yeah. The fun side of it for me is really important. So people that I associate with, I have to enjoy their company. So particularly business partners that I bring on in or join up with, that fun. If there's no click there, if there's no connection, then
Makes a lot of sense.
I'll leave the relationship pretty quickly. It's got to have
Makes
some
a lot of
dynamics to it. Yeah.
Essential Care Pharmacy, providing more than your healthcare needs. Get the best in muscle-building products, health supplement products, beauty care products, medical supplies, colognes and cosmetics, blood pressure testing kits. Access our medical doctors, and so much more. Essential Care Pharmacy, your leading healthcare provider.
Do you have a blueprint for success? What is your blueprint for success? And you don't have to give me the secret sauce, right? Just give me a general idea.
Blueprint, I think, involves I'm constantly learning, and I don't know enough yet. So I certainly haven't arrived by any stretch of the imagination. But I think part of that process, the blueprint to success is constant learning. And I'm on YouTube and podcasts for 1 or 2 hours every day. Can't stand reading. Everyone says you got to read books to get ahead in business. I just hate reading. So I think I did English and English Lit at school, 2 English subjects, trying to work out how to spell better. And and through that whole process, they made you read books, but I think I read one whole book in my life. So but I think you got to be understanding.
Thank God for audiobooks now, right?
Exactly. Now there's audio books. What a savior.
Mm.
So so that sort of thing has helped me a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. Many person would look at you, Nathan, and they would say, they don't know your back end. They say, you're successful. You're in the Guinness Book of, World Record for doing, innovative. Some may say, crazy things to go into the cold ice water. You have built an extra 7-figure business. You've been on Shark Tank. You have some academic accomplishments. You're a manufacturer. You have developed the world first, plug and play, weight loss, program. You have so much behind your name, and this is what people tend to see. What I want you to tell us a little bit about is challenges that you had to overcome to be as successful as you are today. So people still know you're a person, and we all go through challenges before we make that massive breakthrough in life.
Certainly. And it has not been all smooth sailing at all. So it was interesting because after I sold my health shops, I went to the UK. I did property there for 3 years. So the health shop scenario was great. The properties worked well. And then I came back to Australia and I'm thinking, hey, business is easy. I can do anything. Arrogant and much. And then I thought, well, what's next? Let's do restaurants. So I opened up one restaurant that did well, and then I opened up a second and opened up a third, and all of a sudden they didn't start doing too well. So all of a sudden we started going downhill quite rapidly, and I was losing a lot of money. So I think that early arrogance of, okay, I can do stuff, I can make it work, and then realizing that actually there's a lot of uniqueness to different businesses, and unless you actually know that stuff, or you've got a good mentor that can help move you forwards in that stuff, which I didn't. I just thought I could do anything, and apparently I couldn't. So the universe is a great teacher, and it'll give you a good slap in the face when you know, get a bit cocky and a little bit arrogant. And that's great. That's great to have. And look, I lost a ton of money in the restaurants. They always say, how do you make $1 million in the restaurant industry? Well, start with 10 million and you go downhill from there very quickly. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a mentor, get one. Yeah.
Well, I totally endorse what you said, and there's so much to be known in business, and users can assume that you have the data. Users can, think that getting into business and starting and scaling it's just like that. There's so much to be learned. You need to know your ideal client, their pain points. There's so much. I love that you would have learned from that experience. Looking back at some of the decisions that you have made in business, would you say some of the outcomes that you would have had in business and in life, do you have regrets that you think is holding you back, or are they pushing you forward?
No regrets at all. Those learning experiences that I had, where I was losing significant money, it was incredibly stressful. And I had 35 staff, and it was just headache after headache. Fantastic learning experiences. You can. There's two ways of looking at everything in life. You can be beat up by it and pushed around by it, or you can flip it and you can say to yourself, well, where's the benefit and what was the lesson that I learned? With the restaurants, it was an incredible learning curve, and I would not replace that for anything. It was a significant part of my life. There was about 3 or 4 years involved there where I had some humongous learning experiences, but they're fantastic. I can use those in every other business that I go into. I know the warning signs. I know to do my due diligence much better next time. I know to have good expertise on board. I think if you can, with anything, any bad experience that you have, the cool thing in life is we get to choose how we interpret that experience. And this is something that really gets me excited. The fact that we can change the way that we interpret it to benefit ourselves, and no one actually is there pointing saying, no, you have to think this way about it. It's whatever really benefits us and helps us move forward. And that's the way we should be interpreting any negative event in life. If we can stack it in our favor and we can just tweak and modify, and we choose the direction that it takes us rather than letting life and the standard response process that we would assume that we should be put through, then if we can actually choose our own path, why not? Let's stack it in our favor.
Thanks for that share, and love it. Now we're about to wrap up. I just have a few more questions that I want to ask. You have been, successful in your field. What would you say really inspired you to become an influencer? For example, you're doing a lot of work with Business Profit Lab. And I think what you're really doing there is influencing newcomers and, people that have an aspiration in business. What inspired you to become an influencer, not just with Profit Lab, Business Profit Lab, but in business as a whole?
I think most of motivation in my mind comes from moving away from pain and moving closer towards pleasure, as Anthony Robbins is a big advocate of that. They're the two main things that motivate us in life, moving away from something bad and moving towards something good. And being brought up with very, very small budgets and very tight financial circumstances, that is a huge motivator. And my sister's the same. She's very motivated in what she does. She's in the property game. And we always have conversations of like, that childhood was instrumental in the drive that we have now, because we're both ridiculously driven. And I think it's because of that start. And again, it's something that we're hugely grateful for. It's like we're brought up with love, lots of love, but zero money. And it's just something that we were actually, from that we've been motivated, and we haven't stopped. So I think that's only a good thing. Yeah.
Right. What impact do you want to make, and how do you want to be remembered?
Look, if I can help other people sail through their business processes a little bit easier, I think that would be a great sense of achievement. And I still have a long way that I want to take my businesses. And so they're the sort of things that I want to do and help people with. Again, kind of helping other people with business side of it is what I enjoy. It's fun. So that's what I'm doing. And how I want to be remembered, I guess, as someone that brings a bit of light to the business world, a little bit of fun, a little bit of lightness, and helps people see things maybe in a slightly different way to what they know as usual.
Okay. So far, you're still behind three major brands. And so I want to ask you, what major plans do you have for your brands in the future? Do you plan to go global with your brands?
So Tommy Sugo, not at this stage. We manufacture in Western Australia. Would love to expand to different states around Australia, which we'll probably do in the coming future. So we'd love to sort of partner with other team members to deliver that to different states around Australia. Immersion Wellness, really exciting plans. We've got a lot of future. We're a startup, so we've got the world ahead of us. I want to continue to do Indonesia, grow more hotels there, take on Sri Lanka and Thailand, and then move further afield. So that's a business that can be operated in any country, anywhere around the world in hotels. So that's got a lot of growth ahead. And Business Profit Lab is something that's kind of fun that I do in the background. So that will just keep me sane, hopefully, and having a bit of fun on the way.
Okay, great. So I'm definitely looking out for more on some of what you're doing. Great share. Now, as we look at some of what you intend to do in the future, I know for now you want to take Tommy Sugo throughout Australia, Immersion Wellness, that has global potential, and Business Profit Lab. I see that also as having global potential to impact people across the world, because I do believe that your methods is not just applicable to Australia. It's applicable to other parts of the world. I'll talk with you offset about some of my thoughts on how it can go global. How important is access to capital to move this big vision forward for you?
Because I've been through a very capital intense experience with the restaurants. Now what I'm choosing to do in Tommy Sugo, in Immersion Wellness Business Profit Lab, I'm always mindful of minimizing expenses, minimizing costs, and maximizing scale. So for me, in those businesses, the capital side of it's not too important. We can scale without too much capital. When I'm talking about property, very important. So for that aspect, yes. For the others, not so much.
We'll talk offline. I know that you haven't built out your presence in the US as yet. There is where we're at. And when it comes to the market integration aspect and the access to capital aspects in the US market, there is where we come in and we can give you that holistic support to really integrate and grow your brand. And there. The last question that I have to share with you, and I know that you went through that rocky time with the restaurant and capital. So what I want to take away from you today is what essential money habits you think we all should have?
Money habits. I would say minimizing costs is a basic one in any profit and loss sheet. You want to minimize your costs and maximize your scalability while minimizing costs. I think persistence with your finances and in any aspect of business is just being one of the most important things, just to keep pushing regardless of what's going on, knowing your end point and just constantly driving towards that, utilizing things like your most important tasks first. Your money making tasks always come first. So little techniques along the way that can do that, optimizing your mindset so that whatever happens along the way, it's just a win. I mean, the fact that you can tweak your mindset to optimize the results that you get, I think that's really, really huge. The health side of it, as I've spoken about, just bringing every tool together that we can to help continue the results there. Probably, and I know those things don't directly touch on money, but the end result, the money habits, any habits that you have with discipline to your diet, to your exercise, is going to have a positive impact, because if you can control any aspect of your life, then it has a positive influence across all aspects of your life.
Thanks for sharing. Now, Nathan, I want to give you a chance to say anything that you wanted to say, and perhaps I did not ask you about the business, about what you're doing, and this is your opportunity to just say.
I think we've done very well. I think your questions have been quite remarkable. So I think we've covered. It's been great. And I don't do a lot of these, so this is a lovely experience that I've had with you. I think we've covered it well. That, as I say, the things that are particularly exciting to me and that I love anyone to pick up is just on the mindset side, is just create the opportunities that you like based on your interpretations of events. So I would sort of throw that out again and reiterate that we can get anything we want out of life. First of all, by asking the right questions, and then we find the right solutions and answers. And secondly, when those bumpy periods do come along, then if we can interpret them mode that suits us and allows us to continue the journey, then let's do it. Let's rock it out there.
Awesome. All right, Nathan, I must say it has been such a pleasure talking with you today. I've learned a lot, and I know you're a fighter. I love the fact that you, with parents, you came through the struggle. Today you have established yourself as a great mind in business, and I could only see brighter things ahead. We'll be doing some talking, but in the meanwhile, I want to say keep doing the good work that you're doing. I love that you've given back to society. The Business Profit Lab, I know that is really doing a lot of work to touch and transform people's life, young people's life in business. So keep doing the good work that you're doing, and we will definitely be talking soon.
Lovely. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York. Do more than just support our clients to pitch their businesses to investors access working capital at 0% APR. We also support our clients to grow and scale their businesses faster and cash flow optimize. Pitch Deck 101 LLC recent partnership with 10X Branding Marketing LLC and Global Capital Inc. out of the USA has enabled us to form unique partnership with multiple financial institutions, which means we can do even more to accelerate the success of our clients. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC give you the support you need to pitch to investors, access capital, access new markets, and grow and scale your business. Contact us now on 332-235-1099 for a free consultation.